This is Chris Hansen.
Chad doing Rip City Radio here.
It's your favorite basketball player, Tyler Hansbrough.
This is Jamie Hudson.
This is TJ Houshmandzadeh.
And I'm going to let y'all know something.
Duke sucks and Duke will always suck.
You're listening to
It Just Makes Sense.
It Just Makes Sense.
Season finale, boys. Listen, this podcast is not about being right. It's about being entertaining and sometimes right. But
If OKC becomes a dynasty, I'll get uncircumcised. I'll put the skin back on.
You'll put it back on. I was rooting for him, and now I feel like
he's rich, so it sucks.
Yeah, because I feel like it was disingenuous. It wasn't.
It's still a crazy bet.
It's like you're just choosing to be angry at something. Take the guy away for a second.
That's my life. I just go, hey, everything's fine, but I'm really mad at that.
Clear eyes.
Full heart.
Can't lose.
Play like a champion.
Don't you think?
It's ironic because
Thank you.
It's ironic because you're an insurance agent now, and you don't intend to use your own insurance because of your wife's health insurance.
Correct.
Yeah.
Probably the only insurance that would be better than what he has.
What a sales tactic, too. I don't even use my own insurance. That's just how good being a government employee or...
Make it clear.
Yeah.
Farmers insurance does not provide medical coverage like your employer. So it's not like like their health insurance is through MetLife.
Got it. Understood. All right.
That makes sense?
Talk to me like
MetLife
I'm
only
a
covers
third
New Yorkers.
Unfortunately.
East Coast thing.
I tried to call in and, disguise myself.
Is there a mafia provision? Season finale, boys.
Yeah, good. I won't see you guys for 2.5 months.
I know. This gets to the point
That's the plan.
where a few weeks will go by and then Lindsay will go, like, is everyone okay? Like, everyone's cool, right? We're like, yeah, just the podcast isn't happening. We're not mad at each other.
I thought it was always 2 months, but then I realized it's almost 2.5.
Well,
Because we don't start till the beginning of September.
Yeah.
This
honestly is the latest I think we've ever gone.
it feels very late.
It is definitely the latest because
Thanks, NBA.
Did they reschedule stuff this year?
I think that they took more time in between games. I think that there was a little bit longer, longer
it's the
lead
in-season
time.
tournament.
There's also, the in-season tournament.
Normally,
does stuff,
an
slows
NBA
things
championship would be over, like, beginning of June, and then you have a few weeks before the draft. Now, the NBA Finals, because the in-season tournament, is getting over, like, a week before the draft.
Yeah, I mean, like, the draft is tomorrow.
Never mind. Couple days.
Yeah, the draft is tomorrow.
So normally, we have 3 weeks before the draft. But the in-season tournament extends it. The weird thing is, it seems longer this season. We have less episodes.
We do, yeah. Well, because there were a couple of, like, holiday conflicts and then, like, spring break. So we had
Yeah, the last time we had this many episodes, he died.
That's true, yeah. We took a couple of...
So normally we have 41 to 42.
Yeah. Well, so we took Thanksgiving off, we took Christmas off, and we took spring break off. And this is going to put us at 39. This is going to put us at 39, I believe, and usually we're about 42. So, yeah.
Sorry to all the listeners out there.
That we deprived you of...
We gave you 90% of the content.
Free...
No, it's because in the past we would see, like, one of us is traveling, and we're like, oh, we'll just get a guest. All our guests have been fucking shitty, so we're not having... I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
We're like, oh, do we get a guest? No, let's just take the week off.
We'll just take the week off.
It's because we started getting PTO after season 3.
Yeah, exactly.
I had like a couple people. You were in a text message chain where people reached out to us And they really liked our episode last week.
Yeah, I know. How about that positive feedback? I mean, it's, usually you're sifting through all the, you should stop being so obese level comments.
Yeah.
This one was like, hey, I actually like it when when you don't talk sports, which should be an indictment against us considering.
That's not how it was said.
Right, yeah.
So what was it like? It was the wives or the girlfriends that liked the episode last week?
No.
I will read this text
Because it was
message
less sports
here.
related.
Read the text message, and then Miguel can guess who it's from.
Oh, boy. I've got to find it. There it is. All right.
Somebody we all know?
Kind of.
Y'all's podcast is always in my rotation, but I have to say my favorite episodes are when football is out of season, where it's just random as fuck life talk over half the episode. So, someone likes.
Barker?
Yeah, so. Which he's got his...
Why would that be hard for me to guess?
Yeah, he's got his wedding
joking.
photos already. Where are your wedding photos?
Yeah, Ashley pointed that out. She's pissed.
Yeah. They got married after you and
Yeah.
already have their photos. That's
I don't.
not-
I don't really know if it has anything to do with like. I think it has nothing to do with the style of photographer. It's like who you hired. We hired probably the busiest fucking photographer
Yeah.
I've ever seen. She has had a wedding every fucking weekend of this year.
Well, yeah.
She's been flown to Ireland. She was in Ireland like 3 weeks ago to do a wedding there.
Really?
And she's having to hire, like, you remember our wedding? She had 2 extra shooters.
Mm-hmm.
She's been having to, like, they're not on her team. Like, she's having to hire outside to help her. So we were promised 2 to 3 months.
Cheese and rice.
And in July, a month from now, it'll be, like, the deadline. So we're hoping that we...
You get money back if...
No, she's pretty good at, like... She's like, don't bother me before the timeline that I've allotted, and she doesn't fail getting that. You don't have to remind her. It's just, I'm looking forward to I was looking at Lo and Matt's pictures today, and they were fucking great. Like the car,
it was very...
when they were kissing,
was
and everyone was
incredible.
like cheering, and then like the serious one.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of the groomsmen. I
Did
saw
you see your
mostly,
boy
like,
cheering? You were going... Woo. You had a good O face going on there, Braxton.
What? You didn't see the groomsmen ones?
From what she initially posted, I didn't see like a groomsman line. I saw like the group and then like her with her bridesmaids.
I don't know if there was like officially a
I was
line.
looking for the groomsman one.
Here, I have it up right
You
here.
got it? There he is.
Bridal
Yeah, the group
party.
one with in the car. That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great photo.
Here.
Oh, shit.
Is this from what she posted or what you?
No, this
What
is,
you have
This is
access
like
to.
the link.
Let-
Wow,
let
look
me
at
see.
that. Stunners. Look at you.
I think you can
A
swipe.
bow tie? Who's the guy in the back going?
Is that Louis C.K.?
You motherfucker.
Who is it?
The guy on the right.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not
Oh,
talking
not
about
saying
you.
you.
You were
Saying
talking
me.
about to the left
No,
of Barker.
the guy who looks like Louis C.K.
The guy who looks like Louis fucking
He
C.K.
does look like Louis C.K.
Did he not do a set?
That's Aaron Maiden.
Okay, sure.
Was he
Shout
in
out
Virginia
Aaron.
that you meet him?
Yeah, you did.
I did? Oh, yeah.
So you didn't know he was Louis C.K. then?
He didn't have... Did he? He didn't have the beard then, did he?
Not as grown out.
Yeah, no. Aaron's cool.
No, those are great pictures. It makes us. That's the thing where like the waiting
I like
period.
this one. This one's a good one.
What are you doing to him?
We're just kind of like dusting him off.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's cute. You know what I mean?
It's adorable.
I think.
And, I mean, doesn't get much better than that, boys.
Yeah. Wow. You'll have to send
I
me
like
a couple
that.
of these. So the YouTubes.
Great podcasting. Right
Yeah, I
now.
was going to say the YouTubes need to be able to see the photos here.
Okay.
That's how you know that we need to get the hell up out of here because
Sorry.
we're like legitimately.
We've got nothing left.
with nothing left in the tank. You know what? It's summertime, boys. Officially summer. It was 55 degrees and pouring down rain. The start of summer here in the Pacific Northwest. I am starting this new trend with my wife where on the weekends we are taking turns choosing what many
Pegging.
Yes, what many would believe would be like a bad movie, but you like it. And this week was my movie. So her movie, we've done this 2 weekends in a row now, and she chose Strictly Ballroom. I don't know if you've seen Strictly Ballroom. It's like an old.
I have not.
It's like Baz Luhrmann's like first introductory, or like one of his things like before Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
And then I chose this past weekend. I picked Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt has a 9% from the critics, has like a 60% from the audience, but Joe Dirt was my selection.
And is it still an incredible movie?
It's still so good. I mean,
What
like,
did she
obviously,
think?
she was like, some of the things don't hold up when you're there's some
Yeah.
slurry type of things that were acceptable in the early 2000s, but are not now. So, but I think overall, like, I mean, I love like the radio angle, obviously. And so it's just like, is so many quotable different things too. It's just such a chaotic movie, but it's very wholesome if you like really deep down. So Joe Dirt was my selection because I feel like, the critics hated it. And I was like, all right, I love this movie.
You can have an appreciation for Joe Dirt if you can appreciate Adam Sandler movies, because that's essentially like what it is.
Yeah.
It's like dumb, funny. It's so stupid, it's funny.
Yeah, and so there's like a New York Times countdown because now no one wants to read about war, and it's summertime, so no one reads anyways. But there's like New York Times, I think, is doing like a countdown of like the best top 100 movies of the 2000s, and like Joe Dirt was not on there, but Lindsay was wondering, okay, why is Anchorman on there, but not like a Joe Dirt? Because like consider like the satirical nature of both of those, and maybe it's just the cast. Maybe like Joe Dirt is just like so vignette-y. Like there's just like tiny stories within the stories, and then it ultimately gets to. Anyways,
I think there's a lot of technical things you could look at, but I think ultimately what pulls weight when you're looking
gotta
at
be the cast.
the cast. Yeah,
well,
the cast.
Will Ferrell holds more weight than David Spade,
Christina
Yeah.
And
Applegate.
the
Especially
money
at
that
the
it-
times they
Paul
came
Rudd.
out.
and the
Steve
money that
Carell.
it makes.
Yeah.
Because I'm always on IMDb whenever we're watching something because I'm curious. Like I've made a habit of like looking up the cast, and I'm looking up like the budget of each movie
Sure.
and how much it made on opening weekend, and then gross like worldwide. And I was looking on IMDb. Do you know the number one highest rated movie on IMDb of all time?
Oh, is it still Paddington? Paddington was up there.
What is?
Oh no,
Paddington?
that's the one that was on Rotten Tomatoes. My bad.
No,
Paddington the bear.
of
right.
all time, it's not Paddington the Bear. It's rated 9. There's not a lot of movies rated in the 9s. They're all like, even some of the classic ones are like 8.4, 8.5. This is the highest rated.
Is it an older movie? Is it Shawshank?
It's Shawshank.
Yeah, I love Shawshank.
Shawshank's the
Redemption.
Never seen
number
it.
one movie
What?
on IMDb.
Whoa!
Never seen it.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, that's a
I will-
great fucking movie.
let's drive down, let's smoke some meats, let's watch Shawshank Redemption, or you can come up here. We can watch
No,
it on this
thanks.
pizza. Seriously?
No, coming up here. No
Oh.
thanks. You can come over. I mean,
You literally drove here on a weekday. But yeah, anyway.
Shawshank was a great movie.
I just have a great movie viewing area.
That is true.
With the lights and the
You do,
surround sound.
Yes. Didn't I tell you I bought the lights? I just haven't installed them on the
Oh,
back.
good luck with that.
Yeah, thank you. Is it hard?
No.
Okay, good.
Maybe for you.
Maybe.
For
Yeah.
budget and like how much it made, it's up there. But then guess the highest profit, like budget and then like return.
Napoleon
on investment.
Dynamite.
No.
So you're talking
that-
about
that's-
the
they made a lot.
margin?
The
You're talking
margin,
about
the profit
lowest-
margin.
The profit margin on something.
Because I know that
But
costs
I don't
nothing.
want
So
I don't want
low
that to
budget.
derail you, because I think
Yeah.
naturally your brain will go to like what movie cost the least to make and made the most money, which Napoleon Dynamite would be. But like these movies cost a lot to make, but it just made
also
fuck
made a lot of
ton
money.
Oh, well, it's got to be like Avengers and
Avengers Endgame,
yeah.
Titanic.
it's up there.
Yeah, well,
But
the thing
Titanic
is-
doesn't beat like the Marvel, because Avengers Endgame costs like like $300 million to make, and it
Yeah.
made $2.1 billion.
The thing about this, though, is like I think that they're reading these incorrectly because like tickets for Titanic were $3.25, and now you're charging people $15 or whatever. I think it's like, all right, you're doing this gross ticket sales, but why not number of tickets as your gauge of how many people are coming in and out? I have just a disagreement with how they're judging those things. Maybe I'm incorrect. Someone in the comments can.
Well,
and you'll call me fat. And then tell
Spider-Man
me
No Way
about it.
Home
Yeah.
also up there. It made over $2 billion or $1.9 billion dollars on a $300 million
Titanic.
budget.
I was watching a trivia show, and there was a question: how many days did Titanic, from its release date, make 100 or was it weeks? It was $100 million. How many consecutive days or weeks? And it was like months.
Really? Yeah.
Months that this movie made $100 million. And you could look it up. I don't know if it's days or weeks, but it was very, very impressive.
My Heart Will Go On, which is not even in the top 10 of Celine Dion's best songs, but was number 1 on all like the TRLs and everything and all the weekend shows. I still remember when she was dethroned by number 1. Any oh gosh, I'd have to give you like which song dethroned her. It was a one-hit wonder,
Late 90s.
Initials are NI, and gosh, I don't even know how to like explain. Has kind of like a Jewel or like a Michelle Branch vibe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Natalie Imbruglia's "Torn" was the song that ultimately dethroned.
Hell of a tune.
Yeah.
I was gonna guess Mariah Carey because that's her peak, like late 90s, like all the Mariah Carey
but
shit.
"Torn" from Natalie Imbruglia came on right up in there, and I was
Also,
so
what was-
mad. I was like, "You can't do that to
Do you
my
think-
girl Celine."
Do you also think Titanic had less like blockbuster competition than like, because all the Avengers were coming out like back to back to back, and
Yeah.
because blockbuster wise, like in '97, there were a lot of good movies. Like that's when like Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan was peaking in all the rom-coms. You have like Happy Gilmore, Waterboy. Like that was like 98, 99.
1997 was Titanic, so 1997.
I feel like some of the bigger ones were before Titanic.
Movies. Men in Black was that year. The Lost World, Jurassic Park was that year. Liar Liar was that year.
Just classic after classic.
Yeah.
Jurassic World has to be right behind them, or the Lost World has to be right behind them.
Yeah, so it was. So if we're going total gross was Titanic. Then Independence Day was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What was Armageddon? 02?
Ooh,
Or
when
older.
was Armageddon? I mean, gosh, it was right in that time. Armageddon.
99?
1998.
98.
Gosh, like you were talking about like summer blockbuster after summer block. You had the Men in Blacks, the Independence Days, the Armageddons. So many great movies.
That's something we don't get anymore, because now you have streaming straight to fucking Netflix.
Yeah.
There's no more blockbuster movies coming out.
Let's just like go up and down of like domestic box office of 1997 season finale. It's on. Titanic.
When Braxton was 5.
Yeah.
4.
Independence Day, Men in Black, and this is from top of total gross. Lost World, Jurassic Park, Liar Liar, Air Force One, Jerry Maguire, As Good as It Gets, Good Will Hunting, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, and 101 Dalmatians.
Good Will Hunting was that far down. That's a great fucking
Yeah,
movie.
so
There's quite a few of those I've never seen.
Hercules was that year.
Oh,
there you go.
Hell of a film.
Who won
Space Jam also.
Who
was
won
that
an
year.
Oscar from Good Will Hunting? The only actor who won an Oscar from Good Will Hunting.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
I love Robin Williams. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, I was actually thinking about Robin Williams the other day, and
Because he's dead?
sure, I was thinking, what if I were to go back and watch one Robin Williams movie? Because I haven't seen a Robin Williams movie in so long.
Oh, we should watch Good Morning Vietnam.
Never
Incredible. Well, like my favorite movie of all time.
I feel like
Really?
if you ask a group
Sorry,
of
I cut you
people,
off. Now we're
if
on
you ask a group of people like pick a Robin Williams movie, everyone would try to name something that would try to impress that person.
You think?
It's like Dead Poets Society and all this.
Well, Dead Poets Society is
I would
great.
name Mrs. Doubtfire.
I mean, Miss Doubtfire
like
is amazing.
Mrs. Doubtfire
yeah.
is
Yeah.
my Robin Williams movie.
Yeah.
That is. In fact, sometimes I'll do the Miss Doubtfire voice for Quinn. He loves it.
Hello. And then you throw your mask out on the street for a truck to run over it.
Yes.
Okay, so
And
you
then
had
pie myself.
you had a thought about Robin Williams, about why you were thinking about Robin Williams.
Yeah, you guys got
We
to
went
where
that
I was
way.
going.
Okay, yeah.
What's like your quintessential, if you have to watch one?
I think I have a penchant for like movies that have a radio angle because Robin Williams plays kind of an edgy radio DJ during the height of the Vietnam War. And so, there's a lot of this, like, all you're doing is disseminating information and making sure that, like, everything's very buttoned up. But he is, like, an against-the-grain type of a guy who just ruffles feathers.
Okay.
Like, tries and builds, like, culture and spirit, but also while pissing off a bunch of, like, higher-up people. So, an incredible movie if you haven't seen Good Morning Vietnam.
You know what we could do?
Patch Adams, also very good. Sorry.
Sad.
So sad. Oh, my God.
Patch Adams.
Great
movie.
score.
A river runs through it.
I don't think I've seen A River Runs
Never
Through
seen
it.
Wait,
Is that Robin
no,
Williams?
that's the fly fishing one.
Okay.
Oh gosh, what's it called? Anyways, great podcasting.
Yeah.
What we should,
Why do you guys keep saying that? Just because we're not talking about sports?
Well, I mean, there's
Like, stop self-deprecating.
No.
This is completely fine.
Yeah. I think it's like we're trying to like bring and have like the official thing, and if you can't, it's
People
because
are-
we got food poisoning, right?
People are having a good time listening, and you're just planting it in their brain.
We got food poisoning. That's
You
just,
hate this.
Yeah, we got food poisoning.
Now I forgot what I was saying.
That's fine.
Like, don't take any time to think about it.
Okay,
Favorite Robin Williams movie? Go.
it's got to be Doubtfire.
Go.
Good Morning Vietnam.
Doubtfire. Jim Carrey.
The Grinch.
Liar, liar.
I love Liar Liar.
Liar, liar. Is so good.
It's probably not his best because Ace Ventura and all that.
The
but
Mask.
Liar Liar. It's like when you pick a song and you just remember the time where you were like listening to that song. Like Cable Guy and Liar Liar, like top two.
Yeah, Cable Guy.
Do we have to go to Boston?
The Cable Guy when he jumps off Jack Black's back and dunks.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Tom Hanks.
Ooh.
That's tough.
That's really.
He's one of
tough.
the toughest ones.
Big.
Big is
Really?
so good.
Big is so
Big
good.
is so
Big
good.
is
Have you
like
seen Big?
One of
Yeah.
the first movies I cried. I remember.
Yeah.
Pussy. I mean, it's great. Good job. Way to be in tune with your feelings.
Yeah.
I was like 5.
I know. I mean,
Tom Hanks is hard. Like, for me, it's fucking hard.
yeah. You know who I wasn't like trying to dog on, but I was kind of like, is this person as good as they've been paid? And I absolutely don't mean any respect in this. Is Sandra Bullock good?
You fucking kidding me?
I knew that was going to piss you off. I mean, she has 59 titles, and I was like, okay, like these are good, but are they like...
Sandra Bullock is like up there.
You mean Sandy?
Yeah. I mean, like, While You Were Sleeping is great. Like, don't get me wrong. Speed, you can't really call hers. You know, she was in the Ocean's 8 and everything.
Speed?
And so she's good, but, like, is it like... I don't know. I know I walked into this.
You ever seen Miss Congeniality, brother?
I love Sandra Bullock, but then I was looking at her titles and I just go like, okay, these are These are fine, but these aren't like my favorite movies. These are just like casual movies that I kind of have on.
It's
But
like if it's a personal opinion, that's fine because anyone
I'm
could
not saying she's bad.
anyone can make a case for like Julia Roberts or any other A-listers where you're like you have one movie like Julia Roberts, you know her for Pretty Woman. Sandra Bullock's probably known for Miss
and Aaron
Congeniality.
Brockovich. But I think that like
But like 2 weeks notice, Speed, and all this shit. Like she's in a lot of like really fucking good movies.
But I think that like if we're going like Julia Roberts versus Sandra Bullock, I think that like the impact on movies that Julia Roberts has had versus Sandra Bullock it far exceeds what Sandra Bullock has
disagree.
done.
I think it's pretty.
Julia
fucking-
so.
Roberts can suck a fart in my
Why?
opinion.
I don't-
I
like-
do not like.
I'm
Julia
not going
Roberts.
that route, but I think to think that Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock has that much of a gap is fucking insane.
Yeah.
I don't dislike Julia Roberts. I love Julia Roberts.
don't
but
di-
that is
I don't-
that is if it's not equal, it's so fucking close.
All right.
It's so close.
Okay, well, what's your same thing, Jennifer Garner?
I'm not
13 going
Yeah,
on 30.
same.
That is a great
13
fucking
going on
movie.
30.
I don't have a thought.
Okay.
That's a great movie.
But Lindsay loved Alias, so
Okay.
Yeah.
See, like sometimes you could look at, and this goes for
I
any.
never watched Alias.
If this goes for any actors where they've done like blockbuster movies in the past, but like the recency bias is like, oh, they took some jobs lately that just made like Sandra Bullock made Blindside. I love Blindside.
Blindside's great. Yeah.
Jennifer
You know-
Garner did the Capital One commercial.
Yeah, but like don't forget what they
For like
did.
going on 20 years.
Don't forget what they did like a long time ago because
Yeah.
that's the shit that like fucking launched
Yeah.
them.
You
People
know what
can
I've
come at me
been-
for my take, but
Never answered Tom Hanks. Make a decision,
Are you
even though it's
scared of
hard.
Tom Hanks?
I mean,
Departure?
I don't want to go like what you said. Big is so good.
Big is
I
good.
love a good coming of age movie.
Yeah.
And Big is just
And-
like
and I
right
feel
up
like
there.
for-
a little creepy when you think about like,
Yeah.
you know, but
Have you guys even seen like a lot? Like, have you seen a lot of Tom Hanks movies?
I haven't. So I've seen Castaway. Incredible. That's going to be
Road to Perdition,
never.
I mean, Green Mile is so good.
Green Mile,
I cried like 5 times in Green Mile.
Sleepless in Seattle. You've got Mail, Philadelphia.
Forrest Gump
No,
is
no,
Fucking
no.
insanely
Forrest Gump
good.
is dumb.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
I think it's dumb. I think Forrest Gump is a lame movie.
Yeah, you're alone in that
Yeah.
one.
I think it's like very like repetitive because like he narrates a thing and then he says it or vice versa and it just feels like I don't know, too slow.
AKA you have a problem with mentally handicapped
Oh,
people.
that's where we're
he's
going.
mentally
Saving Private,
handicapped,
yeah, Saving Private
Peter.
Ryan.
That's why it's a
Da
little
Vinci
slow.
Code.
He's like, today, Junior.
Can we speed this shit up?
Let's see. I never saw Da Vinci Code, but I know that
Da Vinci Code is very good.
Philadelphia, obviously. is a big
Philadelphia
one. Yeah.
is such a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Philadelphia?
No.
I don't think I've seen Philadelphia
Denzel and Tom Hanks.
together.
Are you fucking kidding me? You know
they
what Tom
kiss?
Hanks movie was really good that came out like 2 years ago? A Man Called Otto.
Oh yeah, that was on
You
there.
want
but
to
I
ball
have
your
not seen
fucking
it.
eyes
Yeah.
out?
That was very sad.
Dude, you're going to cry the entire
That was
fucking
very
movie.
sad.
What about Morgan Freeman? What's your favorite?
Oh, dude. Morgan Freeman.
I have kind of
7? I mean, 7 is
Honestly, the first movie that came to my mind was
Bruce Almighty. It's up there. Bruce Almighty's a great fucking
Great
movie.
movie.
It is
Great fucking movie.
Have you guys seen Along Came a Spider? Along Came a Spider.
haven't
with,
seen that,
with
but
Morgan Freeman is very
no,
good.
I've seen Along
He's
Came
in it,
Polly.
a
That would be
detective.
my Ben Stiller, for sure.
I love that movie, but I don't know if that.
Meet the Parents is
Yeah, the
So
Meet the
good.
Parents franchise was.
I want to
pretty good.
rewatch those.
the Parents and the
Meet
Fockers.
the Fockers, Little Fockers.
I didn't like Zoolander when it first came out,
I thought Zoolander was stupid.
but then it grew on me. So it definitely grew on me. So that's where we're at.
Zoolander.
Your opinions in the comments as well. We're full
Yeah,
of
Maddie. What's your Tom Hanks movie?
these. We'll wait.
We'll wait. We have one P1. It's still. Usually we're down. Like it's like process of elimination. By the time we're in June, it's just Matt.
Yeah.
And
even
maybe,
the
maybe Mark.
Even the wives are done, and by
The wives
June
have
it's
turned it
it's
on.
Barker.
Yeah. Okay, so happy late birthday to you.
Thank you.
We went to Clyde's prime rib. Miguel's prediction that you teased out turned out to be true. Good Chase Wilde Attorney At-Law.
It wasn't even a close guess.
So-
It was a nailed it guess.
Like, when you said it, I was like, the first thing that came to mind was, had Chase already talked to him?
Did I accidentally tell you?
Like, how in the fuck, just right off the bat, you knew exactly what it was? It was very, very impressive.
I did not
What
get.
does it tell you though? That I knew it. Like what
That I'm predictable.
do you? So when you say that you're predictable, you're giving me zero credit. That's like you played bad and I didn't play well.
No, I just said it's very impressive.
But
Yeah.
is it how much of it is because you were predictable, or how much of it because I know my friends that well?
Yeah, no, you know your friends that well. I think that if I would have said, I have a surprise for you guys, and that's it, I don't think you would have gotten there so easily, because I gave the clarification of you'll know at Clyde's at dinners next
I
Friday.
agree with that.
It definitely. I don't think you would have gotten there as quickly, but I'm not trying to take away from how impressive.
No,
it was
I agree with that because
it
I have
literally took you no time. I said we have a surprise. I said the thing about Clyde's, and you immediately said this is what's happening.
if you just left it as I have a surprise, that is so vague.
Yeah.
That there's no way. But because it was your birthday, I was easily able to eliminate. Like, you're not gonna get us material items on your birthday. That's out of the. You're not gonna get us gifts on your birthday. So it has to be the surprise in the way that you said it. It's like, we're gonna see someone.
Yeah.
It's not Barker because he just got married.
Yeah, he wouldn't travel.
Coburn's too high.
Yeah,
You just had a baby. Chase just had a baby. It kind of made sense for them to meet.
Well, I did say officially on this podcast that if it was Chase or Coburn, that I would open mouth kiss them.
and
you
you
didn't.
reneged on that.
No, Chase pussied out on that one. I went in for
Oh,
it.
he pussied out.
blame the other person.
Boy, did he pussy out.
Yeah, what a time. What a time. It was amazing to see him. It
was.
I wish that that we had more time. Just always wish we
I
had
know.
more time.
He's
with
literally
Chase
at the
Wilde
coast
Attorney
right
At-Law.
now. We should all quit our jobs and go.
How long is he in town? Is he coming back through?
He leaves tomorrow.
Oh, got it. No, so I mean, like, he's kind of talking about. I'm not going to say that because I don't want to like. Anyways, well, I don't want to stir anything up that might be a thing, and it's just like no. Anyways, it was very nice to see him.
What you're trying to say is what happens at boys' night stays at boys' night.
Yeah, kind of.
Which is really hard to do when Peter's a part of it.
Yeah. One thing that I didn't realize is that Chase Wilde, Attorney at Law, not a red meat fan. He told me, he said, I trust you with my life. You can order me dinner.
I think that was a bold move on his part.
And I went with
the alcohol talk.
at Clyde's prime rib. There's prime rib on the marquee, and I went with a 16-ounce prime rib, medium rare, mashed potatoes, and grilled vegetables with double jus. I'm a good. I love a good sauce.
What you ordered, no one can blame you for. You have to get the prime rib, even the way that it's cooked. That's normal, the way you ordered it. The only thing I have a problem with is the size. You ordered a 16-ounce for a 16-ounce guy.
Yeah.
Like, get a fucking 8 or 10.
The 10 would have maybe
10
been
would
the
have
play.
probably been fine.
Yeah.
More palpable. But I guess the medium to medium well will be the play next time.
Yeah.
But, grow up. No.
Seriously. No, but it was wonderful. It was awesome to have him and his wife and his 2 girls stay at our house. It's the first time we've ever had guests like that.
How'd it go?
I think it went really well. They
can
said they were
host people,
really,
yeah.
really comfortable. Jara got like a little gift for their older daughter. So she had a little stuffy and a coloring book when she came in the
beautiful.
room.
Very sweet.
So, yeah, it was awesome. I hope that they felt comfortable and they had a good time. I hope Chase had a good time.
Chase
had a
was
good
the,
time.
It turned out to be like a party for Chase. Ultimately, we won't go too far into it, but it was certainly a party for Chase.
I don't think it's any question. Like you even no matter how you look at it, if somebody is miserable the day after, they had a great fucking time.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Time.
The fact is, I know that he is going to tell multiple other people about what transpired.
The
that
legend
They-
of this weekend.
Of all the things that happened this
And we all woke up and we're kind of just fine.
of all the things that happened this weekend, my favorite thing probably was on the car ride from Jimmy's to Clyde's. I was asking about, mostly asking Chase if he knew the same people that Braxton grew up with, that
Sure.
we have
Yeah.
heard stories about, that we've talked to. And
Parker Lunt, friend of the pod.
Parker Lunt is the number one example. And Chase starts telling me this story about Parker Lunt and the family, about how they did a reality show. So it was a reality show about how parents throw lavish fucking birthday parties for their kids. And I'm like my Super Sweet 16 from
16?
MTV. They're like, no. Both of them were like, no, it's not that. It was like a TLC or a VH1 show. So I remember this. So on Sunday, and I was sitting at home, I'm like, I'm going to find this shit.
Yeah.
It took me 2 minutes. And the name of the show was Outrageous Kid Parties.
Oh, okay.
It was on TLC.
And it was his party?
It was Parker Lunt's family. It was Parker Lunt's mom and dad throwing a party for Parker's youngest sister. Who's now, 22?
Something like that.
She was 6 at the time. They spent $32,000
My
on
God.
this princess
Did you go?
fucking birthday party. And Parker Lunt was like this 17, 16-year-old, like fucking emo hair in a hoodie and like basketball shorts. And it was on YouTube, and it was like a 7-minute video. At 6 minutes and 10 seconds, I see this fucking asshole. His friend that looks like he wanted to try to fight in the UFC, and Parker Lunt and Braxton, like clean shaven, baby face, fucking 15, 16
not clean
year
shaven,
old.
unshaven baby face. Yeah.
And it was so because I've heard stories and like I've seen photos and shit, like Parker and his sisters and all of that.
Did you do a double take on him?
Oh, no, I sent it to Braxton.
You sent him a screenshot?
This is the reality show.
Oh my gosh.
Extravagant fairy tale birthday party cost over $30,000.
Yeah.
Here's Braxton. I screenshotted it. That's
Wow.
Parker.
Oh no.
And this is Dana White.
That's Crew Kopecki.
Oh, this is the club promoter.
Crew Kopecki.
I talked to this guy, the
Yeah.
club promoter in Vegas.
Yep, that's him.
Woo.
Oh,
Wow.
it makes a lot of sense with the
That
sideburns.
hit my ears real hard.
Look at Braxton
yeah.
with his fucking
That was a choice.
What?
Just that jacket.
the fucking hoodie from
The hoodie.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh,
and his fucking haircut.
At official IJMS on the YouTubes. You can check out Braxton's attire
Look at this
there.
doucher. Fucking douchebag. Hot Topic motherfucker.
Yeah, where do you think that was? PacSun? Where do you get that?
Oh, PacSun.
Yeah,
for
definitely
Sure.
a PacSun shirt. Yeah,
This
definitely.
is Forever 21.
A nice lightweight hoodie,
and so
I could sweat underneath and I wouldn't pit out as easily.
Oh sure, definitely.
I was reading the comments on the YouTube video on how, because the mom was planning it and the dad kept going, like kept shaking his head like, we don't want to spend that much. And the Mommy Lunt, was like,
Mommy Lunt.
she's never going to have a
Mommy.
6th birthday again. We need to go all out. And she turned to Parker and goes, you can even invite your friends. And there was a freeze shot on his face going, and that's what all the comments were about. It's like, I love the brother's face.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I can invite my friends.
I need you to send me this link, and then we can attach it to
It was
this.
fucking great.
We need to link that to this episode so people can watch it as well. Well, for Brody's 6th birthday, he got like 4 different kinds of tacos and a fort building party. So not $30,000. Apparently, I don't love my child. So
You're not Utah rich. You're not fucking.
I'm not Utah rich. That's for sure. That's for sure. I am also not rich with an NBA championship. Not very good by me. But the Oklahoma City Thunder are champions. Game 7.
Nightmare's over.
They had their parade, so the nightmare is over for you. Scoring champion, MVP, NBA champion, MVP Finals, MVP whatever, NBA Finals MVP. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander cleaned up.
AKA, hey, we want you to be the face of the league. Just don't fuck it up.
But he doesn't want to be
Just
the face
don't
of
fuck
the
it up.
league. He's like, I can't even believe the things that I am doing. So
I'm just glad the nightmare's fucking over, dude.
Now we can focus on baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
I've enjoyed baseball more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been so fucking miserable.
Yeah, because you can watch all of it on Apple now. Can't
This
you?
this is your LeBron. I
I
dislike.
don't hate. I don't. But the
You do
difference
hate
the
Shai.
difference between me and you is you hate LeBron on a personal level.
Yes.
I hate all basketball stuff.
You hate Shai for all basketball.
I don't.
Great person.
I don't dislike Shai as a dad, as a fucking person.
Ambassador for the Thunder. He's an incredible.
I hate I hate Thunder basketball. I hate Shai basketball.
Well.
That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. Don't you dare compare me to you.
How dare you? I was even attempting to bet Miguel on this game.
I did you a favor.
You did do me a favor. You okey-doked me really at the last second when I was about to send you the handshake.
There's no okie doke. If I did you a favor.
No, you agree. I mean, you did, but you agreed to a bet, and then right as I was betting, you're nope. I'm just revoking that whole deal we had.
And seeing the score, it wouldn't have mattered.
No, but I mean, that game would have been different had it not been for Tyrese Haliburton going down. Do you not agree?
I think the Thunder
He went
had
3 for 4 in those first 7. He had 9 points in the first 7 minutes. That was, and the Pacers were up at halftime. I mean,
if you could make a case for Haliburton going down and the Pacers all of a sudden getting beat, they were up, and then you saw what happened in the second half. The Thunder were winning that game.
Yeah.
They were winning that game no matter what. I don't know what the margin would have been, but the Thunder were winning. They were not going to lose that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the way that Haliburton had been playing in those first few minutes was certainly a level to be able to spoil. But it's one of those what if moments. Obviously, I think collectively, and if you're a sports fan and you appreciate good athleticism, everyone is gutted and devastated for this guy because it's he put it all out there. He had such an incredible playoff run as well. He wanted it so badly for Indiana, and then to come up short, and then that's going to be the biggest thing. And I don't think it puts an asterisk on the Thunder.
That's what I was going to say. Here's what I wouldn't take away from the Thunder is people were talking about an asterisk next to this championship. People are talking about how this was more of a bigger asterisk than the Mickey Mouse bubble championship. I don't agree with that. No. As much as I hate Thunder basketball, I think they're all fucking cringy. I think Shai is fucking given everything on a silver platter as a basketball player, and I don't like that. I dislike him because of how they've made him to be. I'm not going to take away winning a championship because somebody got hurt. Because if that's the case, then you're just going to be a fucking hypocrite. You're going to take away Toronto's championship because KD and Clay got hurt.
Yeah.
You're going to take away who else got fucking you're going to take away the Golden State championship because Kyrie and Kevin Love got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, injuries happen all the time. That's not the Thunder's fault. However, I don't, be honest. What are you going to walk away from this whole championship or this whole playoff series? Who is the team that you're going to remember? Is it the Thunder?
It'll be Indy, and it'll be
the Pacers.
Yeah.
That's the team I walk away from this playoff series and this championship remembering. I cannot think of any other postseason in the NBA where I don't remember the team that won the championship, that I'm not going to remember the team that won the championship. Because in a few years, I'm going to look back at this year, Indy is who I'm going to remember, not Oklahoma City.
Well, unless Oklahoma City starts and repeats. I think that there's the possibility. And I think that another thing that you're going to remember, which was marred by this playoff, just run by every team, was the level of injuries, specifically the Achilles. You had Dame go out, you had Jason Tatum go out, and you had Tyrese Haliburton all leave with Achilles tears. All had been battling calf strains, and all wore the number 0, coincidentally, which is a very bad omen there.
I think it's just it's such an easy cop out to look at injuries when NBA's been known for injuries. And
no, but I mean, like, this is 8 Achilles injuries in the NBA
and
this year. The previous record was 5.
We've talked about this before. Like, what is the reason that people are getting hurt
playoffs
today? And like, people have made a case for like low top shoes. Is it low top shoes, or is it because I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that's crazy. People played in fucking Converse, like linen fucking lining, but I think it's just. The game is so much faster. I think also people have been playing, like, these guys have been playing basketball since they were in like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And then they're so much more athletic. The game is way faster, and there's not a lot of breaks anymore. Like, you remember before when you were a multi-sport athlete, you were getting a break.
Yeah.
Or you're just taking the 3 months off. Now, if you're playing AAU basketball, you're playing year fucking round.
No
Your
time off. Yeah.
body is breaking down a lot sooner. I think that's what it is. I think when you're looking at this, especially if you're anti-Thunder, I think it is a cop-out to blame it on injuries. My problem is a lot bigger. My problem is I think the Thunder got, and I know there's breaks in the game, but like, it's like, we want you guys to fucking win.
Yeah.
And I don't like that they make me dislike certain players that I liked before. Like, I liked Caruso before. Because he's a part of this, I don't like him anymore. But like Dort, I fucking love Lou Dort. Arizona State, he was a fucking monster in college.
The torture chamber?
The torture
Is that
chamber.
what you call him?
Yeah.
If Lou Dort and Alex Caruso guarded Shea, those guys would foul out.
Yeah.
In the fucking first quarter. They were hacking the shit out of everyone in the playoff series. You can't tell me that if you actually watch these games and not relied on highlights, that Shea, first of all, in Game 7, shot 8 for 27. Got 28 points, shot 12 free throws. Attempted 12 free throws, made 11. Shot fucking 30% from the field.
There was a play, and I know that, like, hyperanalyze a play, but I'm sure it happens all the time, where Jalen Williams was guarding T.J. McConnell, and they were just past half court. They're right next to the referee, and so it's kind of a little bit of isolation, and Jalen Williams legitimately has him by the arm, and it's like the referee can see that it's like they're doing nothing. It led to a turnover, a fast break, then a Siakam dunk. But I mean, it's just, situational. There's plays like that all the time,
and it's
can't isolate.
And like, I'm not being one of those old heads. It's like, oh, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, you want more physical basketball. Like, yes, I want physical basketball, but you have to call it both ways.
Yeah.
You can't call it for the other team and then like be blind when it's Oklahoma City on offense, because they hack the fucking shit out of people and they are not called for it.
Saying that, like, oh, these guys would foul out, but if it was the other way around, they'd be out of the game.
And because of the precedent that like James Harden and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant had established in the last few seasons, where you can't hook, you can't swipe, you can't push off. You want to watch 25 minutes of Shea highlights where he fucking shoves you so he can shoot a mid-range jumper?
Yeah.
Those were used to be fucking offensive fouls, but this year it wasn't.
Yeah. It is somewhat impressive, at least I think, that a guy can win a scoring title with such a mid-range presence. A lot of these guys have in recent years won because of their, three-point capabilities.
I think it's impressive to win a fucking NBA title being a fat dude like Jokic. That's impressive. That's impressive.
Chet Holmgren was very impressive in Game 7 defensively. Like, there's all these things where you can kind of like, yes, the Shea stuff, I get it. But there were a lot of like individually great performances there. Not so much in the locker room after the fact because these guys were, 12, and like Jalen Williams was saying he had never drank before. And they were like, so these guys looked very unseasoned in the locker room because
It proves the whole thing about like Gen Z doesn't drink.
yeah, that's true. They were just like, is this how we do it?
I mean, like it's also Michelob Ultra
Yeah,
that was in
that's
their
true.
fucking locker room. They didn't know how to pop champagne bottles. Like the other Jalen Williams, the half Asian dude, took a sip of Michelob Ultra and he's like about to throw up. I'm like, I can't blame you there. That is not I mean, maybe at the golf course, have a couple of those, but
Yeah, but it's not like a good introduction. I mean,
these guys clearly just fucking get high.
oh yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
smoke weed. They don't drink.
There was this Nikola Topic or whatever. He is the first player to win an NBA title before actually playing in an NBA game. I think he was one of their draft picks from last year, the year prior. He's just, just hasn't played.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I'd wear that with pride.
Yeah. And then what else do I have?
Does he
to
get all
say
the
about
bonuses?
that? Oh yeah, of
No,
course he
this
does.
guy will end up selling his ring to Pawn Stars. He's one of those.
What do you think, Rick? Can I have $5?
Yeah.
I know the expert said 25,000, but I gotta hold on to it. I gotta resell it, so $800.
What about the decision? And I know that like you can't blame a guy for Tyrese Haliburton to play with that calf strain. You've seen it with KD. You've seen it with Dame. You saw it with time and time again
It's
guys with calf strains.
finals.
Right?
It's a
yeah.
finals.
You have to
mean,
roll the
yeah,
dice, right?
You're looking at
Damned if you do, damned if
you're
you
looking
don't.
at
You get
surgery and shit.
Killed.
If this is regular season, it's an easy decision not to
Not
play.
to
You're in
play.
the finals.
Right.
I mean, he got hurt in Game 5. He's playing 6 and he's playing 7 unless
Right.
he can't fucking walk.
Yeah, I mean it's like you don't want to turn into I don't know if it's a 1-for-1 comparison, but like Anthony Richardson who just like taps himself out of a game because he was winded for the Colts last year, I think it was. So either way, yeah, it's like you go out there, you're the ultimate competitor. You just feel absolutely gutted for him. He posted an incredible post on his social medias. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to read it here.
I felt bad for him until he did this.
He did do hearts. So he was saying,
meet me halfway.
but he'll be gone for the whole year.
What's an
next
Achilles rehab? 12 months?
year. Oh yeah, I mean you're looking at 10 to 12.
Oh my god, dude. So you're telling me that NBA season will start November,
October.
October.
Yeah.
So for the All-Star game, we won't have Tatum,
Nope.
we won't have Haliburton, and we
Nope.
won't have Dame.
Won't have Dame.
Like it's the replacements.
Yeah, kind
The
of. Yeah.
Eastern squad will be the fucking replacements.
Yeah, which kind of like takes it to the next thing where you go, okay, how are teams leaning in or not so leaning in? I think that like, for instance, the Orlando Magic, what we talked about last week, think that their window is open by trading for Desmond Bane. You go, okay, like do the Cavaliers run it back and see if they can't get themselves through into the finals? What are the Knicks going to do? I know one team that is, for instance, not going to be trying to compete for an NBA championship next year, or at least making it a little bit more tough on themselves. The Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics have made a good number of moves, trading Jrue Holiday back to Portland. Jrue Holiday, Blazer legend, by the way. Anthony Simons plus some pick swaps and some, second round picks, whatever. So Jrue Holiday is going to be taking on, or the Blazers are taking on $100 million of Jrue Holiday's contract, sent Anthony Simons on an expiring back to Boston, which is just great for Boston because they're in the second apron.
Blazers are so bad.
So Boston's in the second apron. They need to be like, it's fine if you're like up in the luxury tax if you're like, we're going to win or we're competing to win. They say, hey, it's not going to be next year because of Jason Tatum. So, and then just before we started recording, Kristaps Porziņģis was traded away in a 3-team deal. He's going to Atlanta. And so they cut another $30 million off of their pay off of their contract, player breakdown for next year. So they're more or less. And then you just go look at Brad Stevens and be like, this guy continues to know how to do
The
this.
gap between good GMs and bad GMs is so massive.
Yeah.
You can clearly see Sam Presti and Brad Stevens up here.
Yeah.
And everybody else, including the Blazers organization, way down here.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not like I'm a huge fan of Simons, but you're getting Jrue Holiday, who's a fucking winner.
Yeah.
But you're getting him on a downhill portion of his career at
36
At
years
35.
old.
You're fucked with money.
Yeah.
You're fucked with money.
And you're
105
giving him
million.
no support.
And it makes sense for a team to add somebody like Jrue Holiday if you are like one piece away from winning. They're taking him
To be a backup to Scoot?
as part of like a building. Like the Blazers aren't anywhere close.
No, they're good defensively.
But like if Jrue Holiday was added to a team where like, man, we were almost there. That makes sense. The Blazers getting him doesn't make any fucking sense. There's almost like false value in these trades happening right now where either people are fucking idiots or they're getting blackmailed to do some fucking
Something.
stupid shit. Bane doesn't deserve what Memphis.
4 first rounders and all that other stuff.
It's like, Jesus Christ. We're setting a precedent here where like Desmond Bane, like he has that much value that you're giving up so much for him. That's insane.
Yeah. And then I think, too, when you look at the and so, again, this makes so much sense for Boston to make that deal. You get Ant on an expiring deal, so it's almost a 1-for-1 annual contract between these two guys. But then you clear the deck so that then you can rebuild within that. Maybe you can pay someone within that. Peyton Pritchard, maybe. But then again,
yeah, Pritchard's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
He's staying with Boston. Brad Stevens has one more big move, and he's getting rid of Jaylen Brown. Mark my words.
it seems
Where
that
did
it's
KD
heading that
go
way.
again?
Huh?
Where did KD
Kate,
go
well,
again?
yeah, we should
Houston.
definitely address
Well,
that. He
yeah,
went to
we'll
Houston.
we'll talk
But
about that
Jaylen
here in a
Brown-
second.
And I know that they're always in the running, but I promise you, I guarantee you, Jaylen Brown's going to LA. And
You think so?
they're going to give up the White Knight. Because
think
the
so?
only way Brad Stevens would make the deal is if
It's
they
for
get Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing it for Dalton Connect. So the Lakers will lose Austin Reeves, but they are going to get Jaylen Brown. I don't know who's going to win or lose that deal, especially with two rivals, but Jaylen Brown's headed to the West Coast, and Brad Stevens has his eye on Austin Reeves and probably, I don't know, fucking Christian Wood and a couple other picks on top of that.
Yeah.
But they're going to get Jaylen Brown. Austin Reeves will go to Boston,
Interesting.
which would be a great compliment to Tatum. I think ultimately Boston will win that deal because LeBron's declining big time.
Yeah, I mean, like, Boston seems to always have a good head on their shoulders, recognizing, the amount of money that you pay for all of this, and if you think that your window is at least temporarily closed, what can you do to retool around a guy like Tatum and kind of build that way? It's kind of what Sam Presti did in OKC, just like saying, like, collectively, this is the team that I've built. And then when... I think that they're kind of in an interesting spot because OKC has the potential, if they continue on this and they repeat, then you're starting to think dynasty stuff. I don't want to go too far on this because, again, OKC was driven to Game 7s in, like, literally every series. A superstar in the finals goes down. They capitalize on that. They take it to Game 7 against Denver, and they had just fired their coach, and they were in disarray. So I don't think that this is, like, the most impressive championship by OKC. But
If OKC becomes a dynasty, I'll get uncircumcised. I'll put the skin back on.
You'll put it back on. But, I mean, like, they're in an interesting spot, too, because they've got 7 first-round draft picks over the next 2 years, the Thunder do.
That's a lot.
It's a ton. And so then you go, okay, how do they, can you swap it for, like, future first rounders and be like, hey, we're good with this, but, like, maybe someone else needs a first rounder for now? Or do you get to a point where you have to pay someone and you go, well, I'm just going to reset the clock and find my new Lou Dort
Regardless,
or something like that?
no one is in a better situation than the Thunder. because Presti has put themselves in the situation where they have all of these picks. They have an established team right now. They have all these picks to either add more firepower or use that as leverage.
I'll be so upset though if they go out and try and make some sort of blockbuster deal to eliminate their picks, because that's not how they got here. They made a mistake with Gordon Hayward and all that other stuff.
You've got
too smart.
7. You've got.
But that's not how they got there. I just feel like trust your scouting, trust your process and how you're internally building this team.
But 2 or 3 first-round picks can get you quite a bit.
I don't think that's what you're seeing in all of this, where you have Kevin Durant dictating where he wants to go, and then you've got all of the you don't want to disrupt your nucleus just because there's one guy good over there. I think that you build around guys and you say hey, you need to fit into this. You go and you get some sort of a superstar. They're gonna kind of disrupt the nucleus of everything.
I regardless of what he does, I have so much faith in that guy because I think he's the smartest GM right now. I love Brad Stevens, but I think Sam Presti's the smartest GM right now. And no matter what they do, you know what you have in your back pocket? You have a fucking championship. A lot of people and a lot of fan bases will go through their lifetime without experiencing a championship from their team. And he has a championship from an expansion team that was added later on. This isn't a Sonics championship. This is an Oklahoma City fucking championship.
Yeah, you kind of got the hardest part out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of teams that a lot of fans that will never experience a championship with their home teams.
The Houston Rockets seem to be attempting to capitalize on their window at this point, signing Ime Udoka to a long-term deal and then trading for Kevin Durant. Durant was traded to Houston for Jaylen Green, who's a rising star. However, he disappeared in the playoffs. Veteran Dylan Brooks, obviously go Ducks. The number 10 pick in this year's draft and 5 second-round picks over the next...
Who won this trade?
I would say that it is...
It's not even close.
I mean, Houston won this trade.
Are you fucking kidding me? Let's lay this out on the big screen for you to look at.
Yeah, no.
You're getting an aging superstar. Yes, he can get shots up whenever he wants.
No, he's 37 years old.
He's on the downhill portion of his career. He's been hurt multiple times. You add him to a team that, yes, we're in the playoffs and we're good enough and close enough to possibly go further. You got rid of one of the best rising stars, in my opinion, at shooting guard in the NBA. One of the most athletic. It only takes a couple more tweaks for Jaylen Green to be like a Shea.
Right.
You got rid of him. Dylan Brooks, he's dispensable. He's a fucking bag of jelly beans. 5 second-round picks.
I mean, there's no,
and a 10th pick. The Suns won this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Suns needed picks badly. I mean, they had gotten rid of everything.
The Suns are blowing up the whole fucking team. The only thing is they got another shooting guard, but they won this trade. Well,
I mean, but let's look at what they gave up in general, because I think that there's a lot of people who would talk about, asset mismanagement on what some would say a criminal level, because they had Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, and they had 4 first-round picks and swaps to turn all of Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, I mean, Bradley Beal's to be seen, but to Kevin Durant, which was all of Bridges, Johnson, and 4 first-round picks into Jaylen Green, Dylan Brooks, and a bunch of late-round lotto swaps, and now kind of the tail end of this year's lottery. I think that in a vacuum, that deal itself maybe, but to see in the macro what they turned Kevin Durant into is relatively criminal.
This is a time will tell result. In 3 years, you are gonna tell me that if the Rockets win a championship, then you're Kevin Durant's move was fucking great. But if the Phoenix Suns make it to the Western Conference Finals, then I'm this is exactly the Paul George deal.
Yeah.
It's what is the result? Because if Kevin Durant doesn't get hurt and he takes Houston far, then no shit, I'm wrong. But there's so many what ifs because he's old.
But I mean, like Jaylen Green, what does he join? He joins the likes of Bradley Beal and Devin Booker, which was already redundant, and now you've got Jaylen Green, who's a third guy who's just kind of the same position, is he not?
But he is the same position, but where the Phoenix Suns won this deal is they're getting the 10th pick in this draft and 5 second rounders.
Draft well.
This is a stacked draft.
Yeah, well.
I mean, they're going to get, like, you're going to get somebody that is above serviceable in the 10th at the 10th pick. But 5 second rounds, you might luck out with like Draymond Green.
You might
like a.
I would say that like second rounders don't feel the same.
No, but this is I'm saying this is a stacked draft with who's coming out of college.
Yeah.
Well,
you got some of the Houston guys, some of the Florida guys coming out, the Duke guys coming out. This is fucking stacked. If 5 second rounders, giving up 5 second rounders, will build you enough of a fucking team the way that Golden State did it in 2015.
But
because you're bound to get one or two.
Yeah, but this is also a new ownership in the Phoenix Suns who went and swung big to try and get these superstars. And so now you have this new regime where they're trying to like figure out how to draft when that's not been their MO. I know that Matt Ishaba has only been an owner for a couple of years, but it's not as if like they have this great farm system of being able to scout these guys. They've tried to buy themselves a championship.
He has nothing established, but you know what? The Phoenix Suns organization way light years ahead of fucking Blazers.
Yeah, well, and
The
that's
Blazers
not where
are
I'm
done.
going, though.
But I'm saying, yeah, maybe they tried to take a swing. They swing for the fences, and it didn't work. Right now, I don't view them as a bad organization. They are trying things, and they're figuring out, okay, Ayton was a drama queen. He was a cancer in the locker room. Let's get rid of him. Chris Paul didn't work out. Bradley Beal, I don't think that's going to work out ultimately. I think they have to, they're going to lose a lot of money.
And a lot of picks and a lot of capital. So
that's why he's still there. You got Jaylen Green, you got all this, but don't forget how Bob Myers built the Golden State Warriors in 2015. There were a lot of bad decisions leading up to 2015. The Monte Ellis one was a fucking mess. The fans didn't like that.
Oh, they hated it. Yeah.
You're drafting.
The owner got booed off of center court.
I mean, Bob Myers was getting fucking. They were going for his head for drafting a 12-year-old out of Davidson.
Yeah.
And then, but who did they end up with? They got Clay. They got Draymond. They got David Lee.
But this is a reverse situation, though.
How?
Because they traded away Monte Ellis. This is reverse, where someone tried to buy a Monte Ellis and they just have mismanaged their assets. Are we saying something different here?
I'm just including that. I'm including drafts. I think because of the 5 picks they got from Houston, they are not a dumb organization. Yeah. They have tried and done multiple things.
Guys can buy second-round picks for $1 million or $2.
Yeah, but it also depends on what kind of draft you're walking into.
I mean, when you have Desmond Bane, who was traded for 5 first-round picks, and then you look at Luka Doncic and Kevin Durant combined in those deals was 2 first-round picks. It's it's crazy. I mean, it's wild to think that you turned KD into 5 second-round picks.
You can't judge a draft
swap.
thinking that it's going to be the same every year, because you're not going to get a Klay Thompson in a second round every year. You're not going to get a Draymond Green in the draft every single year. You're not going to get a Lamar Jackson in the second round of the draft every fucking year.
I know.
This is a stacked NBA draft. That is my main point with how they made this deal. Because in the second round, having 5 picks...
They don't have 5 picks this second round. They've got 5 picks from now until 2032.
So they get, 2?
They get 1 or 2 this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a stacked enough draft, you'll get 3rd, you'll get 4th, or whatever. You can make deals. I'm saying I don't view the Phoenix Suns organization to be as dumb as the other organizations. They're going to turn these 5 picks, as spread out as they are, to be of value.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully you can look at a Bradley Beal if you are trying to offload this guy who has a no trade clause, which is crazy. Only him and LeBron are the 2 people who have no trade clauses in the NBA.
They could do so shitty, and then Kevin Durant tears his fucking Achilles, and we're all sitting here going, "Wow, what a dumb trade for Houston."
He's done it before, and so.
We've talked a lot about this Desmond Bane guy these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, well.
He can't hug anyone. His arms are too...
Where is he from?
What college did he go to? Or
He's played for Memphis with John Morant. He's the guy with massive fucking biceps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He can't pick up a pencil.
But
That's
do you know
all
like
we're
where he
saying.
grew up?
You, sir, are trying to do this whole thing with Bane and Batman, aren't you?
Oh, I
Hey,
thought
officer, I'm headed to
Born
Orlando.
in the dark.
Yeah. He was born in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your NBA contribution.
That's
in June.
That's how you want to add.
That's all I
You're,
got.
you know that.
It
what
would
is-
have been funny, guys.
What's
Should we-
that?
from the top?
What's that meme?
Slap that knee.
What's that meme or that GIF where like equations are happening in your
Yeah.
brain? This
The
is
Zach
Braxton.
Galifianakis.
This is Braxton going 2 months till NFL. 2 months till NFL.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
but-
thought it'd
Fucking
be
Rain
funny.
Man over here.
But then KD's at that Fanatics event, and then he's talking with Kay Adams, and he's just saying, "Oh, no love lost." Like, you're saying that people are devastated. I'm gone. They wanted me gone. And he's just so fucking smug about it. He dictates where he goes. I'm just so over the KDs of the world. I'm not saying I want him to get hurt. I want the Houston Rockets to not be good. I want him to suck. And then we can just move on from this. I want the Rockets to get buried for this trade because I just cannot stand this guy.
Well, if recent history has shown anything, you'll probably get that one.
Yeah. So
You're going
that's
the opposite. Like he'll probably be wrong.
maybe.
No, because KD these last few years, I feel like has not been as reliable as his, as he usually is.
Yeah.
He's kind of he's kind of turned himself into, because you can't question his basketball ability because he's so great. But he's turned himself into a somewhat likable guy that you cheer for. To like, I'm talking Oklahoma City days.
Oh sure.
Oh yeah.
To like a guy that he's become kind of a cancer in the locker room, and he's become a kind of a dislike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
just
just-
never want to get to a point as a player with any player where it's like, oh, is this worth it?
Yeah.
You
Like
don't ever want people to think that.
he's like bigger than the locker room, and it's just kind of like, why are the standards different for this guy when we should all be kind of in this together?
I think you don't want to get to that point if people are thinking about you personally outside of basketball. But I think everyone gets to that point with like father time. That's normal.
Yeah.
But like if people are questioning how you affect the locker room or like the media that you bring in, that's where he's at. So I agree.
Yeah.
But like
It's probably a little bit.
but
of both.
like ability with either injuries or like how old you are, I think that's normal. I don't think that takes away from anyone. Like Carmelo kind of went through
Yeah.
that. Carmelo Anthony. went through
that's a part of the game.
and maybe he can win me over, but I doubt it. Let's see.
I'm sure he's really worried.
Yeah, he's very worried. Kyrie opted out of his player option to then sign back with the Mavericks for 3 years, $119 million, so he's staying put. CJ McCollum traded for Jordan Poole and someone else. Sadiq
Bey.
Bey, thank you.
So he's playing for the Bullets now.
He will be with the Washington
Bullets?
Bullets.
What are you, 7?
Yeah.
Like Chris Webber, Calvert Cheney.
So CJ is on the way to the nation's capital, along with someone else, but I
CJ
can't.
just keeps going farther and farther away from his
Yeah.
vineyard.
Yeah, he's so
Now he's
far
on
away
the
from his
3,000 miles from his fucking vineyard.
So, I think that, oh gosh, someone's on an expiring deal. I think it's probably better for. I think CJ's on the end of his deal.
There's not a lot of NBA players I've yelled at, and I love that CJ's one of them. Face to face with like this close, I fucking yelled at him, and I love it. He's the only one.
So we have the
Proud of
NBA draft as well. Your boy Cooper Flagg projected to go number 1.
I bet you he goes number 1.
I'm not betting. Why would I? That is like literally the worst bet ever.
Would you take a bet? Because I owe a lot of money right now. Would you take
So
a bet that if I bet $20, I'm willing to lose $20, but I do $20 at 100 to 1 that Cooper Flagg doesn't go number 1? Would you take it?
Yeah.
Would you be confident enough to take it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd look at that as free $20.
Yes.
Would if he doesn't get drafted number 1, would you think that I rigged it? Or would you
No.
just be like, the world's against me?
How about this? You owe him a few $100s.
Yeah, like I fucking owe him
This man is very indebted to me.
in bets, $250. Fucking Knicks and the Knicks and the Wolves fucked me, and then the Thunder winning was another $50. So I owe him $250 just
So,
in bets alone, and
why
then
not-
4 years of fucking DoorDash. Jesus.
So why not to add $50 onto that, or nothing for that bet you just came up with?
50's too much if I'm like 99.9% gonna lose it.
Okay, 20. Well, I guess it's up to Peter. But at what?
I mean, it's a real dumb bet. This is just me really just adding another.
Yeah, I think that, I think that the
he
better
gets
bet
injured.
Yeah.
He gets caught with crack.
he could get caught with crack
A
and
white
injured
dude from Maine.
the night before the NBA draft, and he will still go number 1.
You think so?
I think that the better bet.
Murder?
Well, no, you can't do the murder.
Come on.
He is white. So no, I think that the better bet would be that, like, would it be the Mavericks? I think that everyone expects it to be the Mavericks, but they've been dumb enough not to take that pick or to make bad.
Oh,
deals
not after
before,
the Luka
so,
trade.
yeah.
They have to take him.
Kelly Olynyk was the other one in that Pelicans deal with the Wizards.
Kelly O.
Yeah,
I think I know this is the last episode of season. What is it? Season
5.
5.
Yeah.
I think we're officially in football mode.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup decided. Panthers. We only have baseball happening. College World Series. Who's won that?
LSU. Won. Yeah,
They
and there was
won it?
that whole controversy about the Coastal Carolina coach got ejected in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah,
Right.
because the umpire got his feelings hurt.
The umpire got his feelings hurt, and then another umpire tripped over another umpire and thought that he got pushed and assaulted. And then he
threw
was
him
like,
out.
I can't be responsible for another guy's bad athleticism. It was
Just
so
have
good.
MLB going
Yeah,
on right now.
exactly.
And like
That's why
FIFA
we-
World Cup.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that's why we take this break, folks.
Yeah, everyone needs.
You
a
don't
little
want
break.
it. We don't want
We
it.
don't want it. So
You guys can't dive into FIFA World Cup?
there's no World Cup. It would just be qualifiers at this point.
It's
wouldn't it?
FIFA World Cup. It's not World Cup. It's FIFA.
The World FIFA is the FIFA. The World Cup is the FIFA
If
World
you
Cup.
say FIFA one more FIFA time,
Pretty sure it's called FIFA World Cup.
no one on that one. That was good.
They're qualifiers. It is qualifiers for the FIFA.
FIFA Club World Cup, bitch.
Yeah.
And screw that guy, by the way, who didn't take the buyout. This guy who had the oil, Edmonton and Oklahoma City, and then
He hedged it.
Well, right, but that's bullshit because there's no way that like he would have had all that amount of money to be able to hedge that amount unless he did a buyout.
Peter,
a cash
the guy
out.
clearly is not like us. He had money.
No, I mean not when you have a $13 long odds bet.
But he placed that bet clearly for fun. Did you see his hedge bets?
No, so what I'm saying is that he cashed out. This is what I think, and what I think that the internet thinks is that he cashed out around 90 or whatever, 120, and then hedged those bets, and then acted like he hadn't cashed out.
DraftKings was following him the whole time. Why
Right.
would a sports book lie for him?
Because it's great content?
I think you're wanting to believe that he's an average Joe. He placed a $13 bet, and it didn't fucking matter to him. He didn't cash it out. This guy could not give a shit about the money. He hedged for $37,000. He
Right,
didn't
but where
cash out
does-
the original
But
bet.
where did he get the $37,000?
Because he's fucking rich and
How
has
do we know
money.
that? All right.
You're wanting to believe that he's like
It's
us.
just as likely that he has $37,000 as to him not having $37,000.
Wow.
I think
Prophetic.
I think you are
Something to
being
Yeah.
blind.
Something to think about.
I think you're blindly
All
following
summer
the
I'll think about it.
$13 bet, thinking that's like he's betting like us.
Why wouldn't it? Like, so you're just like people who bet $37,000 hedges are not placing $13 long shot year-long bets.
7-leg parlays. I don't think it's that crazy.
I do. I absolutely do. I feel hoodwinked
I
here.
think that is exactly the type of bet that somebody who bets tens of $1,000s would only put $13 on.
All right. I
if we
will-
were to
I
ask
guess, but
the
like-
wolf,
All right.
who puts larger amounts, if you were to put this bet together, how much would you put on it? He would probably say no more than $20.
Let's call him
It
after
makes
this. I
sense
wanna
for those
know.
guys to place a massive amount on like a straight bet or like a 2-leg bet, but like a 7. Not everyone's placing $20,000 bets on a 7-leg parlay.
I don't know this guy from Adam. I don't know from anything. But like I am flabbergasted to think that a kid that age, and I don't want to like diminish his age or whatever.
How old is he?
I mean, have you seen? He's young. He's like in his 20s.
All I've seen is bet slips.
No, he's in his 20s. He can barely. He's maybe never shaved in his life, and so it's like to see.
Gen Z be making money though.
I guess, and maybe he's like got the money. I'm not sure. I just feel at the end of this, I was rooting for him, and now I feel hoodwinked because I don't think that what ended up happening. It's like, oh, so you wouldn't have changed anything because you had 120, but then you had $13. Oh, but no, I hedged and I walked away with 90. Wait, how? You just bet $13. Oh no, but I had. So what? You just had 40, 70, whatever $1,000.
Why does that make you so angry?
It makes me very angry because I was attached to this story. I was rooting for him, and now I feel
and now
like
he's rich, so it sucks.
yeah, because I feel like it was disingenuous. It wasn't.
But okay,
It's still a crazy
it's
bet.
It's like when you watch a movie and you just go, no, that's not how the story goes. Like, what the fuck is that?
it's like you're just choosing to be angry at something. Take the guy away for a
that's
second.
my life. I just go, hey, everything's fine, but I'm really mad at that.
Take the guy away for a second. What would DraftKings have in it? What would be in it for them?
Content.
You don't think they would get content no matter what?
I mean, that was
If
great
that- if
content.
that-
it was a viral
what-
story. It was repeated
Peter,
all the time.
Peter,
Millions of impressions.
I know this is hard for you to do. Think from the logical part of your brain and not the emotional part of your brain. Why would the guy go to DraftKings and go, hey, lie for me and pretend I didn't cash out? Whether he cashed out or not, DraftKings will get the followers and the content.
Why is this man's financially
But somehow
stable?
DraftKings goes, oh my God, this might get us 1 million followers if we just lie about this. You know how stupid that is? You know how
Yes,
stupid
because
that
they make
sounds?
up these tickets
God
all the
damn
time.
It. He probably worked hard and
You
saved
know,
his money.
No, we
That
see these
fucking bitch.
We see
DraftKings
these
was in the executive room.
convenient tickets.
There's a guy named Peter Sokach. He'll be real angry. So let's pretend that he didn't
All I'm
cash
saying
out.
is that we see these all the time where we see these like tickets that is like, oh, some rando just won all this money. And you go, there's no fucking way.
Which I think
And
what you're saying right now is a great reason to think, oh, this probably isn't one of those situations, because in those situations, it was just a random ticket, one time posted after the game was completed, nobody attached to it.
Right.
Just, oh, look at this.
There's
bad
not following the guy
You can put
watching
any
the
number
games.
you want.
This is a dude that's putting his name and face behind this. It is going on for a long period of time. Like, I think it's very unlikely.
I just find it hard to believe that a guy who plays a $13 year-long long shot bet just had 70 grand in the bank to hedge.
And I totally understand that. A little weird that it makes you so
I know.
mad.
It really is. We need to get out of here.
All right.
Let's get out of
We
here.
love you all. See you in September.
Season 6.
Pigskin, baby. It's
Loading.
coming. Clear eyes.
Sports.
Can't lose.
Give me some money. So poor.